Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, this is one of those stories that just keeps heating up, and it's got the potential to shake things up in the NFC North in a big way. The Detroit Lions, a team that's been building a serious contender over the past few seasons, are making a bold move that could significantly boost their defensive front. And if you've been paying attention to the latest NFL developments, you know that the Lions are not content to sit back and wait for things to happen. They're actively looking to improve, to adapt, and to get even better, especially on the defensive line, which has been a bit of a concern lately. Right now, the Lions are facing some serious challenges on their defensive interior. They've got Alan McNeil and Mekhi Wingo on the physically unable to perform list, which means they're unable to contribute at the moment. On top of that, Josh Paschal is on the non-football injury list, and the devastating news just came in that Levi Onwuzurike will miss the entire season due to an ACL injury. That's a big blow, especially considering how important the interior rush and run-stopping ability is for a team with playoff aspirations. When your depth chart is stretched thin, especially in such a physically demanding position, it's clear that the Lions need to act fast to shore up their interior defensive line. And here's where things get interesting. Reports have emerged that the Lions are making a strategic move to address this need. They're trading with the Dallas Cowboys to bring in Mazi Smith. Yes, Mazi Smith, a player who's been under a lot of pressure heading into the Cowboys training camp, and for good reason. The Cowboys are in a bit of a transitional phase on defense, especially with a new defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, now in charge. That means players like Smith, who was drafted for his athleticism and length, are under a microscope to prove their worth. Mazi Smith entered the NFL with a lot of promise. Coming out of Michigan, he was drafted by the Cowboys precisely because of his physical tools, his size, his athletic ability, and his potential to win with his length and explosiveness. But so far, he has struggled to consistently show those flashes of brilliance that made him a high draft pick. You see, at Michigan, Smith was known for his disruptive presence, his ability to anchor the interior line and to penetrate the backfield. But in Dallas, things haven't quite clicked yet. He's posted 16 pressures, 3 sacks, 38 tackles, and 27 stops over his 2 seasons, which isn't exactly what you'd call a breakout. Still, the potential is there, and the coaching staff believes that with the right scheme, he could develop into a true force on the defensive interior. Now, here's the thing, the Cowboys have been busy drafting new talent and signing free agents to bolster their line. They brought in Jay Toya and Tommy Akingbasot through the draft, and they've also signed veterans Solomon Thomas and Perion Winfrey in free agency. With all these new pieces, Mazi Smith's role is now under scrutiny. If he doesn't show early signs of progress in training camp, there's a real possibility that the Cowboys might consider moving on from him. That's where the Lions see their opportunity. They're willing to take a chance on a player with untapped potential, someone who could thrive in their defensive system under Dan Campbell's leadership. It's worth noting that, despite falling short of expectations so far, Smith has shown flashes of what he could be. His 16 pressures and 3 sacks over 2 seasons indicate that he has the ability to be disruptive when given the right opportunities. And let's not forget, he's still young, just entering his 3rd season, so there's plenty of room for growth. What he needs now is a scheme that allows him to use his natural athleticism to its fullest. The Lions, with their aggressive and versatile defense, could be just the right environment for him to unlock that potential. And that's not just wishful thinking. Under the guidance of Dan Campbell and his coaching staff, players have shown they can develop quickly and improve their game significantly. Campbell's emphasis on toughness, discipline, and relentless effort could be exactly what Mazi Smith needs to take that next step. Plus, the Lions are in a position where they need to add depth and talent to their defensive front, especially after the recent injuries and setbacks. By acquiring someone like Smith, they're not just filling a roster spot, they're investing in a player who could develop into a key contributor or even a star for years to come. This move also highlights the Lions' strategic approach to building a championship-caliber team. They're not just relying on their current stars, they're identifying areas of weakness and actively seeking solutions. The defensive line has been a focus for them, especially given how important interior pressure is in today's NFL, controlling the line of scrimmage, disrupting the quarterback, and stopping the run. Bringing in Mazi Smith could give them that extra push they need, especially in critical moments of the game. Imagine the impact of having a disruptive force like Smith in the middle, pairing with the likes of Aiden Hutchinson and the rest of the defense, creating chaos for opposing offenses. But the story doesn't end there. The Lions have a rich history of developing defensive linemen, and they've shown they're willing to give young players opportunities to grow. With a coaching staff that emphasizes player development and a roster hungry for success, Smith could find himself in a perfect environment to flourish. Moreover, the cultural fit is promising. The Lions have built a team culture based on resilience, grit, and teamwork. Smith, coming into this environment, could thrive with the right mentorship and opportunities. It's a move that makes sense on many levels, and one that could pay off big time if he taps into his full potential. Now, looking ahead to training camp, all eyes will be on Smith and how he adapts to Detroit's system. Will he show the flashes of brilliance that made him a high draft pick? Will he be able to integrate quickly into the Lions' rotation and compete for playing time? Those are questions only time will answer, but the signs are promising. The Lions' front office and coaching staff are clearly betting on his talent and upside, and if he makes the most of this opportunity, it could be a pivotal moment not only for his career, but for the Lions' season as well. In conclusion, this trade is more than just a roster move. It's a statement of intent from the Detroit Lions. They're all in on improving their defense, especially on the interior line, and they see Mazi Smith as a potential piece to unlock their full defensive potential. It's a gamble, sure, but one that could pay dividends in the long run. The Lions are building a team that's tough, versatile, and hungry for success, and adding a player like Smith, with his raw talent and high ceiling, fits perfectly into their vision for a championship run. Fans should be excited about this move, because it signals that the Lions are serious about competing at the highest level, and they're willing to take calculated risks to get there. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Mazi Smith has what it takes to develop into a star in Detroit? How do you see him fitting into the team's defensive scheme? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. This is an exciting time for Lions fans, and the future looks brighter than ever. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, go Lions.